The case of the 3000 memes. It started as a joke. At least that's what Daniel Carter told himself. Daniel was 32, single, and worked remotely as a junior systems analyst in a quiet Midwestern town in the United States. His days blurred together emails, spreadsheets, meetings with muted microphones. Humor had become his escape, and memes were his language short, sharp, funny, a way to feel connected without having to say anything real. His closest friend, or at least who he believed was his closest friend, was Mark Reynolds. They had gone to college together, once inseparable, late night gaming sessions, inside jokes, shared playlists. But life moved forward unevenly. Mark had married, had a child, and stepped into a more structured, busier life. Daniel didn't notice the distance growing. Or maybe he did, but refused to accept it. One Friday night, Daniel stumbled across a meme page that perfectly matched their old humor. Sarcastic, dark, absurd. He laughed out, loud alone in his apartment, and immediately sent the first meme to Mark. Mark reacted with a laughing emoji. Encouraged, Daniel sent another, then another. Within the hour, he had sent 30. By midnight, over 200. He told himself Mark was just busy. He'd catch up later, but Daniel didn't stop. The flood begins over the next 24 hours. Daniel sent memes across every platform he and Mark had ever shared. Text messages, WhatsApp, Instagram DMs, Messenger, even an old Slack workspace they hadn't used in years. Memes about marriage, memes about work stress, memes about being tired, memes about memes. Every few seconds, another image, another notification, another vibration. Mark's phone buzzed during dinner, during bedtime with his daughter, during a family gathering, during the night. At first, he muted the conversation, then the next platform lit up, then another. By early morning, Mark had received over 1 to 200 messages. He finally replied with a simple message: "Hey man, please stop. This is too much." Daniel saw the message. He paused, then laughed it off. "He's joking." Daniel thought, "This is how we used to be." And he kept going. When humor stops being harmless. By the end of the day, the number crossed 3,000 memes. Mark didn't laugh anymore. He felt overwhelmed, trapped. Every time he silenced one app, another exploded with notifications. His phone became a source of anxiety. His wife noticed his frustration. His sleep was disrupted. His focus at work collapsed. He sent another message, firmer this time. "I'm serious. Stop messaging me." Daniel read it, but now something had shifted. What started as humor had turned into defiance. Why is he acting like this? Daniel thought. After everything, he sent a meme about being ignored, then another about fake friends, then dozens more. The line is crossed. Mark blocked Daniel on one platform. Daniel found another. Mark blocked him again. Daniel created a new account. At that point, Mark didn't feel annoyed anymore. He felt harassed. The next morning, Mark contacted local authorities, not because of the memes themselves, but because the messages wouldn't stop. Despite repeated requests, investigators reviewed the records. Thousands of messages, clear timestamps, explicit requests to stop, continued contact across multiple platforms. The content wasn't violent, it wasn't threatening, it wasn't obscene, but it was relentless. And under modern communication laws, that mattered. The arrest that shocked everyone. Daniel was stunned when officers knocked on his door. He thought it was a mistake. "All I sent were memes," he said. "They were jokes." But prosecutors didn't focus on humor. They focused on intent, volume, and impact. The charge wasn't about what the memes showed, it was about ignoring boundaries, continuing unwanted contact, and causing emotional distress through digital means. In court, screenshots were displayed, page after page of messages, thousands of them. Silence filled the room. Daniel sat there, finally understanding something he had refused to see. This wasn't connection, this was control. a digital wake up call. Legal experts later referenced the case as an example of how harassment has evolved, not through threats or insults, but through overexposure, persistence, and disregard for consent. A single message is communication. 100 messages may be enthusiasm. 3,000 messages, after being told to stop, become something else entirely. Daniel didn't lose his freedom, but he lost something else: his reputation, his friendship, and the illusion that online actions don't have real consequences. Mark, meanwhile, changed his number and learned a difficult lesson about digital boundaries, even with people you once trusted. The bigger message: this case isn't really about memes, it's about how intent doesn't erase impact. It's about how harmless behavior can become harmful when it's unwanted. And it's about a world where phones never sleep, and neither does the law, watching how we use them. In the end, the courtroom wasn't asking whether the memes were funny, it was asking a simpler question: when someone says stop, why didn't you listen?